If you put it that way as CSR engagement, then one might think of CSR as something extra. I tend also to move back a bit and see CSR as a business philosophy. But some companies tend to look at it, one way to operationalize it, look through a lens of stakeholders. It might be CSR in the workplace, so how companies are addressing some of the challenges in the workplace. It might be some things to do with work-life balance, for example. It could be health and safety in the workplace. It might also be something like gender and equality, inclusiveness, as well as pay differences, pay gaps, how organizations are dealing with issues like that. So that's in the workplace. So in the marketplace, might be issues around the product responsibility. To what extent are companies careful in terms of what they manufacture or the services they provide? It can also be in terms of how they price their products and services to be much more inclusive, because the idea of some people being excluded from the market is something that society as a whole is not benefiting from. So how products and services are priced will be quite important in that process. It could also be in terms of how businesses relate to competition, and also how they treat their customers or consumers, broadly speaking, providing things that will meet their needs. You can also think of some of the initiatives they have around the environment, especially the green side of things, where they're thinking of their impact on deforestation. Some companies now have initiatives that will limit such, or this idea of planting a tree. So when they travel, sometimes they find a way to get a carbon offsetting. Some companies are also very conscious in terms of their waste, because the waste they generate will have implications for the environment. And some now are beginning to even go further to think about how the products are manufactured in the first instance. This whole talk around the circular economy is all tied to that agenda, where instead of sending things quite quickly in a linear fashion to the landfill, they are now being reused and in the system and kept longer as well in the system. So you can also think about it in terms of the community, CSI in the community, where some multinational firms, especially in the emerging markets, are beginning to go beyond making money to engage with local communities in ways that probably their national government have not been able to help them. It could be in terms of providing hospitals, providing access to market, creating local jobs, to also providing, say, water resources and the likes, building hospitals and schools. So in that sense, you can see that the way I tend to look at it is kind of the four boxes, where one, you think about CSR in the marketplace, CSR in the workplace, CSR in the community, and CSR in the environment, which tends to cover the different aspects and how companies can engage broadly.